It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the introduction there. And good morning. It is November 7th, 2017. It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Woohoo.
Love your hat.
Thank you.
How's
now,
everybody doing?
Where in the world did you find that hat?
On that shelf right over there. Plenty more if you'd like one.
Well, welcome to Down on the Corner program, the XL7 TV version in our second week already.
I can't believe it's already been. We went through a whole week and it flew by.
Yeah, it's going by good. So
went very well too. A lot of people are commenting on your show.
Good.
A lot of people like it, man.
Good. Well, we're just being ourselves and bringing the radio thing over to TV and having some fun. And so,
my point is, what else are you going to watch at 7 in the morning on TV?
Yeah,
not a lot there.
Beats looking at ourselves in the mirror at that time, you know, combing our hair.
I'd rather watch paint dry than some of those other channels.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, as you heard in the introduction, Brood Awakening Coffee. Well, you drinking it?
Of course.
Of course. Is it strong today?
Very much so.
I got my, well, it's not Brood Awakening Coffee.
Yours is pretty weak.
I'm waiting for Jerry to come by and do another dash of coffee in it.
Brood Awakening Coffee, as you heard in the introduction, with 3 locations to serve you: Balmer Boulevard at Highway 62 and out by Walmart in the Walmart East Plaza in front of Anytime Fitness and Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby. And now it's time for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, it just seems like we're getting afraid to do anything these days, not knowing if we're going to be shot or run over by a truck. Whether we're walking in New York, attending a concert in Las Vegas, or going to church in Texas, we just don't know where evil will strike next. Scripture teaches God is love. It also teaches that salvation comes because of Jesus Christ. And there's no doubt that God's love changes lives. Lord, bring a revival to our country. Heal our country. It's my prayer today. Amen.
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 And temperature-wise, it's a little bit chilly out there today. I'm going to refresh this one more time. Hang on before you put that on there, Scooter. All right. Refresh. I've got 9 locations. Mountain Home and Harrison both showing up at 46 degrees today. Hardy at 48. I bet it's still pretty by the spring. I bet the colors are nice along Spring River and Hardy.
I can imagine your colors.
Oh, wow.
Nice out
We've got some nice colors out there right now.
You drive around out by the National Forest and stuff.
I went down to Mountain View last Thursday. Gorgeous down to Mountain View, where it's 52 degrees right now. Yellville showing up at 58, 52 at Marshall. Poplar Bluff, Missouri showing at 48. Branson at 46. Well, it's 44 in West Plains. Are we ready for that national radar, Scooter?
You bet.
Here we go. Tennessee's getting wet, along with Virginia, a little bit of Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, a little bit of New York getting wet. That's kind of some of that stuff that went through. As you can see on the radar, I'm not picking up much at all in Arkansas. I'm going to click on that statewide there. Well, a little bit out west of Little Rock on I-40. I don't know if that's actually hitting the ground or not. I don't even know if it's the resolution's picking up on the screen. I'm going to say most of the highways in Arkansas are clear right now. Your interstates 30, 40, 49, 55 in Arkansas are clear. Highway 62, as you can see at the top of the map, from Fayetteville back over, well, it'd be Springdale area, 62 412, Fayetteville area over to Mountain Home, and east of Mountain Home towards Corning, Arkansas. Highway 63 at Jonesboro, Highway 67 at Poplar Bluff. Looks good to me. Want to check Missouri while we're at it, Scooter?
Sure.
All right, let's check Missouri. Let's go to the Springfield radar.
See what they're looking like.
Looks good to me. What do you think?
A little bit up there.
A little bit, not much.
I don't even know it's enough to hit the ground.
They may have those radar stops turned up pretty good just to check any. As you seen on the screen there, a little bit of I-70 between Columbia and Kansas City. But overall, I think it looks kind of dry out west. You see a little bit there in Colorado, Nebraska, and Iowa.
We got a pretty good little shower
that was good.
Yesterday.
You bet.
It just seemed like it went on all day long.
That was a good shower. Jerry?
Yes, sir.
You want to read that one?
Well, I can.
All right.
I would like to let everybody know Mountain View Meeting Place has concerts every Tuesday night.
Really?
From 7 to 9. And it's free. They do accept donations, but tonight I believe is Pam Setzer down there. So
Down in Mountain View, Arkansas.
Yep, she always puts on a good show.
The 4th annual chili dinner and dessert auction at Mountain Home Christian Academy is scheduled for Thursday, November 16th at 6 p.m. Chili will be served from 6 to 7. It's $7 for adults, $5 for students ages 4 to 17. Children 3 and under are free. Mountain Home Christian Academy is located at 1989. I'll get right in a minute. 1989 Glenbar Drive. Easiest thing, you're on the bypass, you're about halfway down. You can go south towards the park, so you can turn right there at Mountain Home Baptist Church, and it's just right there at the new 16th Street. Now this this chili dinner dessert auction, I'll warn you, if Chris Nassari is doing the auction, beware. Don't scratch your nose.
You bought yourself.
If you got an itchy nose, you better have about $1,000 cash. Right, Judge? He'll get.
I think he agrees with you.
When is that?
It's the 16th.
16th.
It's going to be. It's the week before Thanksgiving. It's a lot of fun.
Next
a lot of fun, and the cakes and all the desserts come in there, and they raise a lot of money for Mountain Home Christian Academy. Very worthy cause.
Okay. And then this week, the Kindness Inc. 2nd annual Golden Gala is November 11th, and tickets are $50 couple, $40 at the door, and single $30. And all this goes to a very worthy cause for Kindness Inc. It's Stardust Big Band. And then tonight we have out at Baxter County Fairgrounds the Quail Habitat lecture series.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have my computer up right there.
Battery went dead, didn't it?
Yeah.
No.
But I'm telling you, it's going on tonight.
At what time?
We'll say 6.
Around 6 o'clock. Yeah.
We'll say 6. Hey, look.
If it starts at 7, you'll be an hour early.
Hey, I'm just surprised you didn't get his regular answer. Bye. Bye.
Yeah. Sometime after dinner. Are you going to the gala ball?
No.
Well, I started to say you can't do a 2-step in a tux.
Oh, yes, you can.
Okay. Have you tried it?
Brother, you can do a 2-step anytime, anywhere.
I'd like
You
to
just
see.
can't dress Jerry in a tux.
I'd like to see Jerry in a tux.
No, that ain't going to happen.
Look like a penguin.
Look out of place, I guarantee it.
Yeah, me too. Scooter, why don't you take us to break so we can get the judge in here?
You got it.
We'll be right back. Baxter County Judge Mickey Pendergrass, and later on Michele Paden will join us from F.A.D D, so stick around.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home. More than just propane, Reeves Propane provides you full-service propane delivery as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reeves Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reeves Propane. We greatly appreciate your business and God bless. Coming in 2018, VHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate-controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range, coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the...
And we're back. We want to welcome to the program our Baxter County Judge, Mickey Pendergrass, and it's been a tradition on Down on the Corner to have him in on the first Tuesday of the month because it's always Quorum Court Day.
Yes, it is.
So how you been?
I've been busy. Had lots going on, but trying to get ready to get our budget put together and working on that and some other issues that we've been dealing with. And I've done considerable amount of traveling for some of that lately, including yesterday. So I've been good. I kind of got a bug going on.
Drive
yesterday.
to Little Rock, didn't you?
Yeah, I did yesterday, and we can talk about some of that because it's something that we're going to start talking more and more about while I was down there. But I've missed it to a couple of small groups, but I'm doing good. I got that bug going on yesterday and tried to get some medicine, take it off last night, but it's still there. It's time of year with the weather changing back and forth. It was 85 Sunday and, rainy and miserable yesterday and today, so here we are. It's Arkansas.
Wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
So
the only problem I have is I don't know if the fish are biting because I ain't got to go.
You haven't been fishing? What's
No.
wrong with you?
I took a grandson to Dry Run Creek, and he had a blast. And all I did was tie hooks on and bait him.
Uh-huh.
But
How'd he do? Did he
he
catch
caught 6 trout.
Really?
Yeah, and just smiling from ear to ear, he landed 6 of them. And so he done. We didn't think he was going to catch any for a little while, but yeah, that's a lot of fun. I'd take them. He's 8. And the other one's 9. I've taken them, both of them down, and they have a big time. One of them pulled a feat I've never been able to pull in my life.
What's that?
He caught a big brown for a small child, and it was running down the creek just as fast as it could go. He was just reeling as hard as he could reel and just giving line. I said, boy, I've got that drag set way too light, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And so I grabbed the pole and pulled it up, trying to give him some help, and started pulling it backwards. And when it come out of the water, he had it hooked in the tail. It had its whole strength going downstream, and he couldn't turn it.
Ooh.
But he landed it. It was a nice little brown.
You pulled it in by the tail?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know how he'd pull that off, but he caught a trout. Now, that made his day. He's 9. So you can have a lot of fun. When BASS was here for a big tournament, there was one or two of the parents took their young kids down to Dry Run Creek, and they wanted to move here. That was a big enough attraction for them. So if you're not taking your kids down there, under 16, and letting them learn, just take a spinning reel and some trout artificial bait with a barbless hook. You'll catch something.
Is that strictly
catch
and
release? Even if you catch them, yes. Yeah. Even if you catch them in the tail. But they'll have the time of their life down there. If they could catching fish, a child loves to fish if he's catching. If a young child is not catching fish, he gets bored real quick. So that's a good place to start. So I encourage you. It's one of the wonderful things we have here.
Is that part of the fish hatchery?
Yes. The water that's funding that's going into the creeks coming out of the hatchery. It's coming out of the lake, and it's aerated, runs through the hatchery for the fish, and they come up. They swim up there out of the river. But there's some pretty good sized browns in there, and a lot of little brain roe. Every great once in a while a brook trout, but they're easy to catch. They love to be up there. The water's cold and it's swift, and it's a good place to train them. Got a lot of platforms for handicap or small children, and it's a wonderful thing. Excuse me. We had a big event last month when we got the governor to come up, and we transferred the Wolf House over to the Arkansas Department of Heritage. There is a new website on that. You can link to it off of the county's website, baxtercounty.org. They're doing wonderful work. It's being improved and going to become a go-to destination for people all around the country. It's a great deal for Baxter County, and the governor come up and helped us celebrate it. So
that was a good day. He was also down at Norfolk Schools. Is your phone going off?
Mine is going off. I set an alarm.
Oh, you set an alarm. That's good. You're here.
It wasn't for this. It was for last week when I was in DeGray meeting, a road seminar in DeGray Lake, and I forgot. I got to learn how to turn that thing off. But a lot of things going on. You want to get into the Quorum Court?
Oh, might as well.
It is, as Dale said earlier, always Quorum Court meeting night. That when we got together and talked about this, and sometimes we'd even mention the agenda. But there's usually a lot of monthly items on there. But this month we have the third reading for amending the personnel policy. We have a second, which means it'll go to vote. This third reading is changing some items in the employees' personnel policy. Then we have a second reading on some more changes in personnel policy that'll go up for a vote next month. And then as we are required by state law to do, we vote. The Quorum Court votes on the millages for every taxing entity in Baxter County in November, and the list is long. Every city, fire department, school district, and county, ASU, library, all those millages are listed on that sheet. We require them to send us their information of what they want to do, lower it, raise it, or leave it the same, and they're all going to be the same except for two, which is Pendergrass for a rural fire district, which will only affect that district. They're needing to expand their building and equipment process to cover more territory, and we're wanting to. I've asked the Quorum Court to consider maxing out the road and bridge millage to 3 from 2.7. We think we estimate that'll bring into road and bridge, which gets no local sales tax money at all, and hasn't since I've been in office. It'll bring in about $170,000 to $172,000 is our revenue projections right now. But road and bridge millage is like our sales tax; it has to be shared with every incorporated city and their street departments throughout the county. There's 7 cities, so the county will be able to.
Whoa, back up. You've got a 2.7 millage.
Yes.
Of that 2.7, you have to share
Yes.
the Baxter County Road and Bridge.
Yes.
With
every city street department based upon a pro rata basis. That'll take right at 35,000 of that millage. We expect it to bring in about 172 or so, and about 34 of that, if I remember my figures correctly, will be distributed to the cities. We have the formula right now where it's going, but yes, that's the state constitution, and we have to share that. And that was originally set up to support the city street departments that didn't have any revenue. All the cities have their own millage. All the cities have their own sales tax that have any business to do. A couple of cities have a 2-cent sales tax. But it's still in Constitution. We have to share on a per capita basis our sales tax with all the cities. They don't share with anybody. And we have to share our road and bridge millage just like that I think it's on a mileage weight now. We have an interlocal agreement with the city of Norfolk. We take care of some streets down there that they don't have enough money to take care of, that they're partly county, partly city, and so they give us this shared millage back to us so that we can help them take care of those streets. We just recovered some of them this last year, but to try to help them out. But yes, that's and the reason we're looking for that, the road and bridge department is the single largest department for employees. And if we had to renew our insurance next year, as it sets right now, it would have been a 23.3% or 24.3% increase. So we have been working with the insurance company and through our broker, and we've got that. We've changed some options on our insurance, and we've got it down to 13.3. But Road and Bridge has no revenue stream by which to pay this large department. So we're trying to look for that. Plus the half-cent sales tax that comes from the state that was passed, it's shared with the state, with the counties, and with the cities. It has, in about 5 years, it's going to go away. And it's bringing in almost $500,000.
Why is it going away? Was it
because it was a sunset clause in that tax? And so you can look for them to bring it back, put it on the ballot in a couple of years or 3, but they don't know what they're going to do yet. But it does sunset, and I think in be 6 years by calendar. But We're almost through this year, so we consider it 5 years. So we'll lose that revenue stream, and it has helped us do a lot of construction and upgrading of roads because that's where it has to be used at. But we're trying to make provision for that. You know, the amount of money that this millage is going to bring in by one dump truck. And that tells you what the cost of things have gone up to. It'll make a down payment on a road grader. But it would float and pay for our 46 employees' health insurance, and keep it funded. So that's the kind of cost. Yeah, that's the kind of cost that we're dealing with. So that's why I'm asking them to consider it. We'll see where they go with it. Give you an example. If you have a $200,000 house, I've been told, about like this estimate of my house, your taxes would go up $12. That's what this is. Bring in about $6 per 100,000.
Lawnmower gas. Basically what it would cost.
It's for your roads. It's dedicated, complete. It cannot be spent for anything but the road department. And that's what I'm asking them to consider. Anyway, moving on.
Hang on, I got one more question. We need to remind everybody, when you take a look at Baxter County, we're not talking about Mountain Home, just Mountain Home, Cotter, Gassville, and Norfolk. You go all the way to Big Flat, a little bit farther south. How far south of Big Flat?
Just not very far.
Not very far.
Matter of fact, the city limits of Big Flat goes outside the county on the west side, and it's just south of there that we get, and you get into Izard and Stone County, Stone County, and
but then you
Searcy
go way
County.
down into Push Mountain, and down that way.
There's a lot of roads down there, and there's a big fire department down there where we have to take care of those roads. That's where we've been able to get a lot of federal money and working on the next project on County Road 73, better known as Culp Road for those that are native around here. It's planning, and I may not live long enough to see it, but they're planning to take it all the way through to Stone County or to Highway 5. It'll be a tremendous road. But we've built a mile and 5/8, but it's bringing a lot of money into us.
But think about, that would be a good tourist item right there.
Absolutely.
Because when you go down and look off the cliff there at Culp.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite a ride through there. If you've ever made that ride, you get out riding. Right now would be a great time to go through there and see what's left of the leaves because it's gorgeous.
I bet it is.
That drive to Little Rock and back yesterday I saw a lot of them.
But it was nice.
And then there's some fees and reimbursements moved around in the Sheriff's Department budget of stuff that they were brought in. They've got to appropriate, and some funds received from Marion and Baxter County appropriate to the juvenile services, and as appointments to a couple of fire department board of commissioners at Beaufort Fire Protection District and the Henderson Fire Protection District. Those things are all we've got another personnel committee meeting this month. Got our stuff together for the next budget, so we'll be meeting on that this week.
That's the third time I just whacked my microphone with the coffee cup. He's over here wearing it.
I thought maybe Tommy had 3 minutes I had to feel.
I don't know what he's doing over there.
There's this little tab right here in the microphone. I keep bumping with the coffee cup.
Well, anything else you have? I made a trip yesterday. I have recently been elected as a part of the executive board of the County Judges Association of Arkansas, and it's kind of new to me because now I have to go to more meetings, but we got called to Little Rock yesterday to meet with our attorney or lead attorney for our risk management team, and I got this a couple of weeks ago, some of it when I was at the road seminar, but we're, as counties in Arkansas, educating ourselves and wanting to educate the public on the opioid epidemic that is hitting the whole country. And we're going to what our plans are and what we're working on is we're going to join as many, if not all, 75 counties in Arkansas with a legal team and to go down. The way they explain it to us, when the smoke clears on this down the road a few years, it'll make the tobacco settlement look like child's play.
Really?
That's how bad it is.
Explain what the opioid epidemic is.
Well, you may go through all these talking points. I mean, we spend a whole hour on this, but
I bet.
They consider it a moral failure because most of this starts through prescriptions given by doctors. Give an example. I'll just give you one example. Two examples. This would be one of them. In a small town in West Virginia, 392 people live in this town, and the pharmacy in that city dispensed 9 million doses of hydrocodone pain pills, and you can be hooked on that in a week or two.
392 population.
392 people in the town and 9 million doses of hydrocodone in 2 years. In just 6 years, the entire state of West Virginia went through 800 million hydrocodone and oxycodone pain pills, all legal and prescribed by doctors. In Chicago, they had a meeting up there, discussion about this opioid epidemic recently, and the sheriff of Cook County spoke to the group, and he says that they have built a detox unit attached to their jail, and 25% of the inmates that's brought into Cook County Jail in Chicago, Illinois, is transferred directly to the detox unit because of opioids. But if you go to the dentist and you have an extraction, you have a bad pain pill, and they give you, I think it's Darvocet, something like that. It's an opioid painkiller. They give you 2 weeks supply. If it's a child or a young adult, before the week's out, you'll be hooked if you take it every day. That's how quickly this stuff works. And as they explain it to you, because of the prescriptions, and now it's sitting in my medicine cabinet. When I had my heart surgery last year, I went home with a bottle of it. I've taken 1 pill.
Yeah.
When I was in the ICU recovering, I asked the doctor the first night, change my pain pills. This stuff, people want this stuff. I don't, but you're going to have to change it. I was climbing out of the bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, hooked up to everything under the sun in a $25,000 ICU bed, and alarms went off because of the pain medicine. They changed my pain medicine because it was giving me illusions and all this kind of stuff.
It's hallucinogenic?
Yes. And so I refuse to take it. I want to know where I'm hurting at. I don't want to hurt that bad. I'm not like everybody else. You chicken out at a certain point. But this stuff is bad, and there is a U.S. code 21 CFR 1301-.74 that was passed in 1971, and the manufacturers and producers of this drug were supposed to police the market. That's contained in that code, which I think was passed in 1971 or 74. They have let it get out of hand because of this.
Money.
And now we have a problem.
Even the president has...
Yes, he's declared, and that helped.
Is this
what
a
do you
national
think
emergency?
The president, yes, he declared it a national epidemic, and he's correct. And they say that has really helped the process for him to make that declarations. But I have all these leaders, I have all these items and facts of what it is. The reason why we're getting involved as county is when you have an issue like this, an epidemic, and this happens every time, and our jails, they give us some relief 2 years ago to get the state prisoner inmates out of our jails. It's back, and it's coming back with a vengeance. It's starting to build back up again. We're getting back because they're using a revolving door at state prisons to make room for those that's in our county jails. But when a problem like this hits, it hits counties.
Yeah.
Cities are not required to have a jail. And many of these people have not been convicted of a crime yet to go down to the Department of Corrections in the state. So the counties are stuck with them. We are not mental illness experts. We're not drug addiction experts. We have a county jail. We cannot afford. And the cost, and our medical cost is going through the roof, or has been. If we weren't having to pay a negotiated deal where we could only had to pay the doctors and hospital Medicaid reimbursement rates, we'd be broke right now. But it's going to get worse, and so the counties are going to be the one that takes the biggest hit. So we want to get involved, because there's going to be, at the end of this, somebody's going to pay a big deal. And we want that money to come give us crisis centers, give us the funds that we need to attack this problem and to help these people that are now at all ages.
What would be step one to stop this? I mean,
get it out of your medicine cabinet.
There you go. Take it out of the sheriff's office and put it in the...
Put it in the drug... One thing that Baxter County has, thanks to Sheriff Montgomery and his staff, is we have a take-back box. We're way ahead. We still have 15 or so counties don't have one. But we had one early on. We worked for the Attorney General's office back in the day. This was back in 2011 or 12 when this really got started, and they brought the incinerator in and made a big deal out of it. It's a big deal. So if you've got them in your cabinet, the value, I could take the ones in my cabinet and go out on the street and sell them and make a ton of money. I've had tenants in rent houses that explained this to me because they knew. But the value, so you're open when you've got this stuff in your house, you're opening up to be broke in and it be robbed because it's very valuable out on the street. It'll go from anywhere from $15 to $20 to $80 per pill. Get it out of your house. You don't need it. Find a different way to deal with the pain.
And don't flush it down the
because
commode.
By prescription, we have caused this epidemic. And we're going to start talking about. We're going to start working on it, and we're going to need some help. We'll be joining all the other counties in Arkansas to pursue. I met the legal team that they have put together yesterday. It is an astounding team. I've had calls from a good friend of mine's out of Missouri wanting us to join that. There's another big movement going on. It's coming, and it's coming big, and we want to be for the counties to get the help that they need to deal with this problem. But if it's affecting 25% of your jail population,
that's too much.
The kind of petty, the
how
kind
much
of petty
is it
crimes that
affecting
we're
the
having to
citizens
deal.
that we don't even know about
That's
yet?
correct. And kids.
Yeah.
This is
wow. With that, we better take a break. I'm out of coffee. I need more coffee. Brewed Awakening Coffee, folks. If you haven't tried Brewed Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you here in Mountain Home. Scooter, take us to break.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home. More than just propane, Reeves Propane provides you full-service propane delivery as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reeves Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reeves Propane. We greatly appreciate your business and God bless. Coming in 2018, DHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate-controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range, coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon.
Have you?
And we're back. We're joined with Baxter County Judge Mickey Pendergrass, and Michele Paden joins us. Hello.
Hey, I like your new setup here. This is fancy.
This is Scooter built this. Can you believe this?
No.
Yeah.
Don't be giving me that much credit. Wait till it falls down, and then we'll.
You do wonders with Tinker Toys.
I'm so excited to be here on your second week.
This thing is about sturdy. I keep hitting my knees on 2x4s under here.
Excuse me, I got my coffee.
Yeah. You got to have the coffee, Judge. There you go.
So second week on your new set.
The new set. Okay, show the coffee. I've got a St. Louis Cardinal World Series 2006, but Michelle's got a F.A.D. cup over here. Scooter's got one over here.
Water with a dab of coffee, apparently.
Jerry coffee.
Anyway, we're going to talk about F.A.D. here in just a minute. And you've got the judge needs to talk a little bit about the 11th.
Yeah, this is Veterans Day week. There was a tremendous program at the Mountain Home Senior High last Friday, but Zorman always puts on a good deal. He gave away a high school diploma to a World War II vet, and then they awarded a Quilt of Valor to a Korean vet. All the kids from the high school were there, and they had 69 or so veterans in attendance. It was a wonderful program. But coming up this weekend, since Friday is Veterans Day, courthouse, county offices will be closed on Friday. So you can mark that down now. We will be out celebrating Veterans Day at 11 a.m. Saturday morning at the Veterans Plaza in downtown Mountain Home, right across from the courthouse. There will be their annual Veterans program that's hosted by the local officials of the veterans organizations. And then at the City Hall in Cotter at 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, the City of Cotter will be also promoting its own with their VFW and help hosting down there. So those are two veterans programs I know about to recognize Veterans Days. If you have an opportunity and would like to see a really good program and thank a veteran, come on down.
You bet. Michele Paden, hi.
How have you been?
Good. It's been a while.
Yeah, been a little crazy. Just got back from California for 2 weeks. Was out there with my nephew, and we brought him back a service dog. So,
well, now we get to start all over because a lot of folks don't know. Hold your coffee cup up and see if Scooter can. It says F.A.D.D. and it's on Facebook. Families Against Distracted Driving.
F.A.D.D. no periods in between on Facebook. The page is Families Against Distracted Driving. We were started July 1st, 2014 because someone I love and know is a victim of distracted driving. That's my nephew. He was 2.5 weeks into his senior year and one of the top 6 male swimmers in the state of Arkansas, and that all changed because of a cell phone. He was a passenger in a vehicle, and his friend was distracted by his phone, and he's now living life as a quadriplegic.
And you just now got the service dog?
Yes, he's been on the waiting list for 3 years. Pretty amazing dog. Canine Companions for Independence out of Oceanside, California is a wonderful, wonderful organization. Cannot say enough about them.
So why would you have to go all the way to California? Do we not have anything that helps folks like that here in Arkansas?
When I was researching organizations, I don't know, I just had a gut feeling that was the organization that was right for him, and they have not disappointed. I mean, it took a while to get one, but this dog is absolutely amazing, highly trained, purebred, black lab. She's gorgeous.
Now, how's your nephew coping after 3 years? He was a champion swimmer, one of the top in the state, and now is basically confined to a wheelchair.
It's been a difficult road. I mean, his life forever changed that day, and dreams were shattered. He had actually 2 opportunities to swim for colleges, Henderson and OBU in Arkadelphia. They were looking at him and potentially going to offer him a full ride to come swim. Very decorated swimmer. He holds numerous pool and school records, and it's not been an easy road, and it hasn't been an easy road for his family either. His life changed drastically that day, but it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
But he's recently moved here and given college a try. He's going out at ASU Mountain Home, and so just trying to get back on track and find a purpose for his life.
Let's remind folks now, this is an entirely new audience now being here at XL7 TV, and so we want people to be aware of what really is going on with distracted driving. When I had my old flip phone, I tried, and then I got the iPhone, and I thought, I can't text. I mean, even I can, we can hold the button down, and Siri will come on, text Michele Paden. But it's still distractive when I'm driving. So,
well, if you are going 55 miles an hour and you glance down at your phone, an average person glances down at their phone for 5 seconds, you travel the length of a football field.
At 55,
at
standard
50
speed.
Standard speed. It's just like you're blindfolded.
Mickey, have you seen any stats come across your desk concerning this and accidents across northern part of Arkansas?
No, I have not yet, but I would advise the vehicle I've been driving for the last year and a half now, we have made arrangements, and most of us in the county have done the same thing. The Bluetooths on the vehicles now are such a wonderful invention. You can take phone calls through it's the county phone, but mine is set to where if you send me a text, you're going to get an instant reply. I'm driving right now, I'll get back to you when I stop. And
now, is that for all county people driving?
if they have a vehicle that's setting up, that has the Bluetooth capability, not all of them do, but that's one thing we do insist with our employees. There's nothing to do there. So if I'm going down the road, like I'm on the road 3 hours one way yesterday, and somebody sends me a text, it'll be from whatever time I've been gone or up to 3 hours before I get back to you, because I don't even know I've got one.
Really?
But you'll get a reply and know why you didn't get one from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage everybody to do that same thing, especially all these late model vehicles that have the capability of that. If I get a phone call that comes through the radio, I never take my eyes off the road. And these vehicles have some amazing stuff in them now, and we got to get in the habit of taking advantage of it, because that's the purpose why they're put there, to address issues like Michele has been raising for 3 years now. You've been working on this?
Yes. The organization was started July 1st, 2014. Grant's accident was August 31st, 2013. So it's been 4 years since his accident, 3 years spreading awareness.
But now, where were you at with some legislation? You spent many hours in Little Rock during the session.
Yes, this past legislative session, Senator Wilbon out of Little Rock had several distracted driving bills. One in particular made it out of the Senate committee, went on to the House committee, passed the Senate, passed the House, and it was recently signed into law April 4th this past year.
Did the governor sign it, or did it become law without the signature?
No, the governor signed it. We were in attendance. And it revised the distracted driving bill that Arkansas had. Now it's up to a $250 fine for your first offense. Second and subsequent offenses are up to $500. And if you are caught being involved in an accident where you are messaging, texting, anything besides talking on your phone, you could potentially have the fines doubled. It's not as strong as what I'd like for it to be, but it's definitely a starting point.
Now, especially for young drivers, 16, on your way to school, everybody wants to be cool, How do we get through to the kids, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old?
It's funny that you asked me that, because a couple of weeks ago I was in the driver's education classes at Mountain Home High School, and we were talking about, would you get in the vehicle with someone who's been drinking? And the kids were like, no. And I said, then why in the world would you get in a vehicle with someone who's distracted by their phone? They're just as impaired, if not more impaired. And they said, And I said, so, when you get in a vehicle and someone's using their phone, you need to ask them nicely to please not do that. And if they will not, then you need to ask them to let you out of the car.
Yeah.
I said, as a parent, I know that I'll pick my child up anywhere, anytime, besides having to go to the hospital and hear that they'll never walk again, breathe again, or spend the rest of their life in a nursing home because they're brain dead. And I said, heaven forbid if I have to go to a funeral home and identify my child's body. So I said, whatever it takes to get out of the vehicle. And a student said, well, what if they won't let me out of the vehicle? And I said, then you call 911. And he said, really? Call 911? I said, yeah, because one, they're endangering your life. They're driving recklessly, and they're refusing to let you out of the vehicle. And people just don't understand how serious it is.
It is.
It's that important that you let people know that they're putting your life at risk.
Well, I told you this story probably a year ago. I was on my way to Nashville, and I go through Paragould, Arkansas, through Dyersburg, Tennessee. Then I pick up I-40 at Jackson, Tennessee to head on into Nashville. If I leave around 10, 11, or 12 o'clock, in the morning or noon, you're going to hit that Jackson, Tennessee traffic coming out of Memphis. And the traffic between Jackson, Tennessee and Nashville can get pretty exciting, you know, especially around mile markers 130, 140, 150. And I was over there just the other side of Kentucky Lake, and I had my cruise set at 74 on I-40, and you're still getting blown past with cars just going as fast as they can. And a little Toyota, little white car, guy doing 90, 95 miles an hour, sitting there on his phone in the left-hand lane, driving with his left arm and talking on the phone, and passed me like I was standing still, and I'm 4 miles over the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, dude, get off the phone.
Well, we have, you know, DWI, DUI, and now we have DUIT, driving under the influence of technology. As a society, whether we want to accept it or not, using the electronics behind the wheel is worse than drinking and driving, and we have to have the social stigmatism that it's just as bad as drinking and driving. And it's a personal choice. You know, I used to get very upset when a law didn't pass or someone didn't vote for the bill, but and I still think that laws are important, don't get me wrong, but it all boils down to the personal choice you make when you get behind the wheel.
Right. With that, we need to take a break. 7:46 on November 7th. Scooter, take us to break.
We'll take a quick break.
Be right back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
More than just propane, Reeves Propane provides you full-service propane delivery as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reeves Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reeves Propane. We greatly appreciate your business and God bless.
Coming in 2018, VHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon.
Have you ever noticed?
And we're back with the final section of Down on the Corner, 7:49 this morning. County Judge Mickey Pendergrass, Michele Paden of F.A.D.D. And Michele, real quick, we want to remind folks that cell phone use is not the only distraction.
No, it's anything that takes your primary focus away from driving. Putting on makeup, getting on to the kids in the back seat, watching a movie on your iPad, reading a book, whether it's paperback or whether it's electronic book. Mental distraction.
Yep.
Being mentally zoned out.
Yep.
You know, there's been times, and I still struggle.
Fatigue,
yeah. I still struggle. You know, I have so much on my mind. I've got so many places to go, and there's been times I've gotten in a car and ended up pulling up to somewhere, and I'm like, oh, this isn't where I'm supposed to go, or this isn't the street I'm supposed to turn on. You know, because I'm so mentally distracted. So I encourage people to find out what distracts them and make a conscious effort to change your driving habits. We carry some precious cargo in our vehicle.
You're right.
First and foremost, yourself. And
a reminder, cell phone use is prohibited by state law in school zones.
Yes. So
and
completely.
Completely, yeah.
No texting, no talking, anything.
Oh, yeah, you can be on your phone there. I'm going to give you some stats with the opioid crisis, and I think that if we had the same numbers, we could probably make them very parallel to what Michele is talking about. The fact is, in the opioid crisis, that 175 Americans die every day from an overdose from opioids. And if you went and looked at the accident records, the numbers I'm fixing to give you elsewhere on this, they were probably very similar for distracted driving. This is how dangerous it is. 175 die from the drug overdose. But most overdose deaths are from the opioids, the opioid crisis. But they figure, and their figures are now that they estimate that there are 30 overdoses for every death. So that means that there's 5,000 overdoses per year. So how many almost misses do we have from distracted driving per day?
Yeah, good point.
That do not result in an accident that was an almost, like there's 5,000 overdoses a day in the opioid crisis, 175 of them die. You want to be one of those 175. I mean, you're playing Russian roulette here and you're doing either thing, either taking these, your body has got to have this, or you've got to think you've got to do that. Everybody knows of the traffic through
Mountain Home at lunchtime. Anywhere from College at 62, try to get through Cardinal, then you go down past Wendy's, McDonald's, and Pizza Hut. This whole area, it's congested. Stay off the phone. Can you imagine being on the phone during that time frame?
Our vehicles now are safer than they've ever been, but there's so much technology behind the wheel, and auto accidents that result in death and serious injuries that are at an all-time high.
Yep.
And so people have the misunderstanding that they have the safest vehicle on the market, but when you don't use it responsibly, just like guns, when they're misused, when cars are misused, they kill too.
Yeah. And the old adage back from the 50s and 60s, the judge remembered, the nut behind the wheel. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We all pay in some way, whether it be, like I said, serious injury, death. And if you're never involved in an accident, you as an insured are paying through your premiums.
Yeah.
So we're all affected by it.
Yeah.
It's an epidemic.
It is.
And we've got to get a hold of it, because we're losing innocent lives. And I tell people all the time, you may not gamble. You may not go and play the Arkansas lottery, I said, but every time you get behind the wheel of your vehicle, you're gambling, because you can do everything in your vehicle right, and if the person on the other side of the road is not doing it, then you're just as much at risk.
Check them out on Facebook, F.A.D.D, no periods on Facebook, Families Against Distracted Driving. Judge, you got a few more things for us? We've got about 6 minutes before we close it out.
No, just if you have any questions about anything, whether it's the Quorum Court meeting, what we're doing with budget, or this opioid crisis, let me know. We're at the office most days of the week when I'm not on the road. And I would just back up a little bit what Michele was saying. When at my age, when we were going to high school, the Missouri State Police, Missouri Highway Patrol taught us, and it was drinking and driving. That was the big deal then, and they showed us stuff. I've seen kids pass out in the classroom because of the stuff they showed us, how dangerous this is. That has transferred now. For all those years, 40, 50 years they've been teaching that. Now we have another crisis that's very similar that we got to teach. And you got to be very blunt with kids, especially. They were with us, and it was not pretty sight.
11 teens die every day due to auto accidents. Auto accidents are the #1 killer of teens.
Yep.
And every 15 minutes, someone's
be
life
safe out there.
Is forever changed due to distracted driving.
One more announcement I'll get in on December the 1st, because we won't be back by the time. We're having the Christmas tree lighting and the Christmas parade. You going to be in it?
I hope.
Be sure to call the Chamber of Commerce. The rules have changed a little bit about the parade. Get a hold of them and get their applications. If you want to be in the parade, we'll do the Christmas tree lighting at the start of it, and Brenda Spencer puts that on every year, so we'll have a big deal there and light the courthouse, light the tree, and December the 1st. And then
that's
the
coming
parade
up quickly.
will come.
I'm trying to type this in for the 14th time.
Other than that, have a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you kill a big one.
Let me see how much time we got here, Scooter. 4 minutes?
About 4 minutes.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm trying to type this in. I have no idea
what are you
why
trying to find.
Well, if I can get this.
Didn't they teach you typing when you went to school?
Well, I'm typing it, but it's not printed on the screen for some reason.
It's delayed. That's welcome to TV.
Yeah, live TV, trying to make a point here.
What are you looking for?
Well, do you remember singer Johnny Horton?
Yeah.
He was hit by a drunk driver. He was in a 1960 Cadillac. It was one of the biggest cars, like 129.5 to 130-inch wheelbase. And just to see how bad that car, now it's finally typing here. I showed some pictures. Now it's working. Let's see if I can bring that. Okay, here we go right here. Scooter, can you get that pic right there? Let me see if I can hit this right here.
Wow.
Oop, that's the wrong one. That's the one that hit him. Anyway, that's a 58 Ford Ranchero. And basically they were doing about 90 miles an hour back in the States. You didn't really have speed limits that much in Texas. But that's a 58 Ford that hit him head on. Those cars were 300 feet apart after the impact. Now, folks, who's Johnny Horton? Remember the song Battle of New Orleans? He's the one that did that. But anyway.
North to Alaska,
yeah. You got the Cadillac there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
We were talking a little bit on breaking all the distractions that there are. I mean, I've seen women doing makeup. I've seen people cutting their fingernails while driving. It's just amazing. One of the biggest things, I think, is those GPSs. Even though they're there to help you and navigate you where you're going, but when you're programming that while you're driving, you're no longer looking at the road, and people don't think about that.
Can you bring that picture up now?
You can't program ours while you're driving. You got to stop. I can't even change my clock. But so there's a lot of older vehicles out there that don't have that safety.
There it is. That is a 1960 Cadillac equipped with a 390 V8 and a 3-deuce carburetor setup, and that's what's left of a 60 Cadillac.
Scary.
Yep.
Anyway.
I get pictures almost every day from people sharing horrific stories, tragedies.
They're out there.
They're
all
out
it
there.
takes is a second. Like you say, 55 mile an hour. What was your thing?
Football field length.
If you're traveling 55 miles an hour and you look down to respond to a text, that the average person takes 5 seconds, you've traveled the length of a football field.
5 seconds.
So you're pretty much blindfolded driving.
So can you imagine being out on I-40 and between Little Rock or Memphis? You know how fast they drive down there.
No,
we all been down there many times.
Yes,
and being on the phone.
And since I've been doing this over the past year, I've traveled many miles, and I've often stopped and thought to myself, I'm putting myself at a higher risk because I'm on the road more, spreading awareness, but at the same time, I'm gambling with my life because there's other people out there on their phone, and I often get distracted by watching other people what they're doing on their phone. I have to pay attention because I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is very frightening. And I experienced it just yesterday coming home from Little Rock yesterday afternoon, running 75 miles an hour on I-40, and you look in your rearview mirror, and there's an SUV and a guy's on your bumper with a phone stuck in his ear. I mean, and you spend more time watching him than you do the road in front of you. People just don't think.
They don't.
Got about 30 seconds. Who do we got up next, Dale?
Tomorrow. Oh, Sheila Wingard's supposed to be here talking about Salvation Army.
Yay!
I have to call Sheila. You need to come back and talk to Sheila.
Yeah, we'll be back.
That ought to be a hoot.
And then Jim
Jim Bumgarner's coming up
next
at 8 o'clock in Harrison. So that pretty well wraps it up. Scooter, what do you
Well,
think?
thank y'all for having us here.
Yes.
Quorum Court tonight at 6.
Congratulations. Yes, 6 o'clock.
How you like the new set?
Love it.
Love it.
Well, I had a guy, a well-known, famous guy yesterday talk to me about this opioid crisis, and I told him I was going to make my television debut.